So the casinos are finally coming out with their plans to reopen. Are they going to allow you guys to walk through without a face mask? What are they doing in terms of what they did during the downtime to make it a safer experience to you? I am shocked, not really shocked because I have good sources, that a lot of what I said in a video literally like 2 months ago, one of the most popular videos on my channel, I'm shocked that, well, I'm not shocked. Most of this that I said is coming true. We're going to cover in depth the MGM Resorts International plan. We've already talked about the Venetian Clean plan. We've talked about the WIN's 23-page master surveillance George Orwell plan. George Orwell, 1984. It's a book. I hope you read it before you have to go back to work soon. And they've already started to roll out their plans. Now, we'll get to when I think they might open at the end of this video, the long shot chance and the more safe chance. So make sure you stay tuned to the video for that. And we're going to talk about the MGM's plan and how it plays into your experience in Vegas and whether or not you'll have to wear masks while you're here on vacation. How rough is it going to be on you? My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for future notifications. Leave us a comment below. Let us know if you like these plans or if they're not good for you and you're just going to stay at home or go camping somewhere on your vacation this year, because we'd sure love to have you back to Las Vegas. I think it's going to be okay, but I have reasons for that I'll cover in another video or in one of my nightly 7:45 p.m. live streams. I do those every single night. If you guys want to support the channel, head on over to Patreon, get the credits of the video, get stuff I don't usually post on YouTube, or I do the merchandise thing. I have some Vegas icons wearing masks. I have some coffee mugs that seem to be real popular. Or a free thing you can do is head on over to Facebook and participate in our chats there on the group. Not a fan worship page. Those are stupid. It's just a group page where people like you get to comment. If you have a good post, it goes to the top and lots of conversation happens, and then you become the hero that we worship with that good conversation. So with that, yeah, we went through it like this. I made a video weeks and weeks and weeks ago. It was something to the effect of, if this is true about Las Vegas, wow, or something like that. It's one of the most highly popular videos on my channel, aside from my Dead Strip documentary and something about the Raiders I did. In that video, I covered how Wall Street was effectively cutting off money to the casinos until they come up with a comprehensive plan to keep the guests safe and make sure that the guests don't feel like they're at risk and make sure that they can alleviate any kind of lawsuits they have. Okay, most of what I'm about to tell you right now is coming to fruition from that video. I did that video. My source is great. It works out. I'm happy. So that's good. Now, then we had the WIN's 23-page crazy plan. We had the Venetian's 800-point clean plan. We had Tony Rodeo. Still think it sounds like Rodizio. I think it sounds like Brazilian Steakhouse, but who knows? If your last name's Rodeo, tell me the etymology. Where's that name come from? Sounds pretty interesting. We had them coming out and saying what they're going to be doing, and then we had Phil Ruffin, and I would play the sad little tuba sound that goes wah wah when he said, we're going to give temperature checks and have hand sanitizer. That's his plan. Okay, which one do you trust the most? The WIN's plan was overkill, over the top. Okay, a 23-page plan that covered everything from when you check in, how you're going to have a personal security guard hand you a C-19 kit with masks that you have to wear, hand sanitizer, and a card, and taking you into the back room and holding you up and taking your temperature again on a temporal scanner, and having the thermometers at the front door, but it's a see something say something mentality where people are supposed to tattletale on others if somebody's coughing in the casino. I'm probably going to cough during this video. I have early morning asthma. It's been windy with 40-mile-an-hour gusts for 2 days, and I'm feeling it in my chest. If I was walking through the wind, they would take me into a back room, screen me, take my driver's license number, ask about anybody I'm traveling with, tell me to come back with a medical clearance from the clinic down the street that I have to pay for. That's a little extreme, correct? Okay, maybe WIN changes those plans. On the other bipolar opposite of the extremes, we have Phil Ruffin with the Treasure Island. Not even talking about the Circus Circus. I did a video a few days ago talking about how I think the Circus Circus could either be changing hands or not open for a while because of all the investments these companies are making into it. And I don't know if Phil Ruffin's investing. He has his own money to get him through the hard times. But he said, basically, yeah, he said 3 things were going to happen, and then it became 2. The first thing was temperature checks for our employees before the shifts. Oh, that's great. Second thing was hand sanitizer on the floors. Well, that's a given. That's obvious. We have hand sanitizer everywhere nowadays. Are we creating super bugs? You let me know in the comment below. Who knows, right? Then he said we're going to give UV lights to our registered guests that can kill viruses and bacteria. Then they said, guess what? We're not doing those UV lights. So that's the sad tuba sound for Phil Ruffin. Do it with me. Wah, wah. But somewhere in the middle of those 2 plans, we have Caesars Entertainment and MGM and the Venetian. So those are the extremes and fall somewhere in the middle. So the good news is, and we'll get to when I think the casinos might open coming up in a minute, but the good news is when it comes to stuff like MGM and Caesars and even the Venetian, they're going to be doing the basics, what you think they should be doing. It's logical what they're going to be doing. So let's talk about MGM because that's the one we have most of the details on in front of us right here. MGM they're working with the doctor. The doctor works for a group that deals with making sure. So she works, Shannon Magari, I had to find it, Vice President of Health Sciences for Colden Corp. Colden, not Golden. It's an occupational health and environmental firm. So they say they're going to require their employees to be screened and wear masks while on the job. Well, you have to wear a mask. The answer is no. They're going to encourage you to wear masks. They think you should, but if you don't feel like wearing one while you're in the casino, then you're on your own. Cool enough. But, also be washing your hands, be safe. But most of this is about the employees. And the reason that is because these properties need to make sure that every guest coming through has minimal exposure to anything from anybody they're responsible for. When you're in a casino and you work for a company, you're basically a liability for that company. That's why companies have workers' compensation insurance. That's why companies have huge multi-million-dollar insurance policies. And that's why you have car insurance, because you're liable for anybody else's health when you're in your car, and these casinos are actually liable for your health and safety. So they're going to require all of their employees on shift to wear a mask at all times. That sucks. Okay, that sucks for the employees. Trust me, wearing a mask for just 2 hours doing yard work out here is hard enough. Can't imagine wearing it. Told you I would cough in this video. It's asthma every morning. I can't imagine it'd be any better for an 8-hour shift at a casino, but they're going to require that. They're going to require gloves for people who are on shift, who are supposed to be wearing gloves, food handlers, people who are doing housekeeping and stuff like that. Now, I'd rather see them require all employees to wear gloves, but that's their call, and I guess that they have a doctor on their side that says it's not necessary for that. William Hornbuckle, who is the CEO of MGM Resorts, I swear to you that's his real name, Hornbuckle, he said, Vegas done safely, I think, is still Vegas. It will be different, but I still think it'll be meaningful. People will have a good time and enjoy the pools, resorts, fine dining, but I think we can do it in a safe manner. So I like his line of thinking. I like how he said pools. I like how he said fine dining. Sounds like they're planning on opening most of their casinos all at the same time. But when? We'll get to that in a few minutes. They're going to be screening all of the employees. They're going to have digital thermometers, it looks like, at the doors before entering the properties to make sure that they can see you on a thermal camera. And if they see you on a thermal camera and you have a higher temperature, then they're going to pull you aside, ask you if you feel sick and whatnot. They're going to offer you secondary inspections if you do feel sick. Again, we don't have to wear masks. Social distancing, that's an obvious one. That's what everybody's all real high up on right now. Whether or not people will practice it in Las Vegas is a whole thing altogether, but they're going to be having plexiglass barriers between the dealers and the cages and any customer service point at check-in. And I really hope they come up with some kind of good two-way system so you can actually hear the person working in the property, because we've all been there in the last few weeks. You go to a store, there's a plexiglass shield, you find yourself yelling. Nobody wants to yell. Everybody in line behind you gets to hear you. You hardly hear the person in front of you. Enhanced hand washing, sanitization, enhanced HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning systems in the properties, air quality controls in the properties. It sounds like they're doing, again, everything I said in a previous video to make sure that they've retrofitted their properties to be better in the new world ahead of us. Incident response: if a guest becomes sick, they're going to take the guest away, give them on-site medical treatment, something I said in my previous video. They're going to notify those who have come into close contact with the person if they possibly can. Hey, who were you sitting with? I was sitting with Bill. Do you know Bill's last name? No, but I have his cell phone number. They call Bill and say, hey, Bill, you were with Mark. Mark isn't feeling good. You might want to get checked out. It's like one of those calls that you have to make. You call your ex up and say, you need to get screened for different reasons. This is because of C-19. That was a joke, by the way. I hope you've never had to do that. Digital innovations, they're going to be doing touch-free check-ins if they can, meaning that they're going to have the touch screens and all that kind of stuff. MGM Resorts mobile app, using cell phones, stuff that only stays on you. So even if you had something on your hands and you're C-19 on your hands, you're just touching your phone, touching yourself, not touching things that other people are going to touch. They don't want touches. They're going to try to innovate with digital menus available on personal mobile devices with QR codes. So if you want to look at the menu in a restaurant, you scan it with one of those black box codes, not a barcode. It'll come right up on your phone. That's great. And they seem to think that it's going to be okay. The Caesars Palace, Caesars Property, Caesars Entertainment also seems to think it's going to be okay. They're asking their employees, they're demanding their employees all wear masks. They're demanding their employees use temperature checks before their shifts start. They're demanding that their employees practice safe protocols, wear gloves, but they're not requiring masks for their guests, which is great too. Tony Rodeo went on a comment a few days ago and said that they're not going to require any masks for their guests at their hotels. But again, if you come to Vegas and you have this experience in Vegas, it's just a new experience. It's not going to be the old way until either a vaccine is found and everything is done and everything is good. And when could that possibly be? Well, you're asking me. I've read the vaccine front. They say they could have something by late fall. It could be next spring. Nobody really knows. But when are the casinos going to open? It's been 10 minutes and 30 seconds plus. Why haven't you told us that? The answer is, right now, we don't know. There's lots of rumor and speculation. I will do a rumor roundup video for you guys either tomorrow or maybe tonight on the live stream. But here's where we are with that. The governor has said we have to get through phase 1 of the recovery plan for Nevada before the casinos will open. It might be that it's in phase 2 that the casinos open. I'm guessing it will be, but it could be phase 3. And so we have to take things slowly. Now, he said phase 1 will last 2 to 3 weeks, and phase 1 started on May the 9th. That puts the earliest that the casinos can actually open May 24th, May 25th. Somewhere in that area, 23rd, yeah, May 23rd, I guess. But I have people texting me saying, well, I called this company and they took my reservation and said they'll be open on the 22nd. Fair enough. You know what? The casinos might be open on the 22nd, but if they don't submit the proper documents and paperwork to the Gaming Control Board, which I'm sure they already have, they're huge companies with people that just do that kind of stuff, then they're not going to open. But if the governor says you're not going to run the gaming on the 22nd or the 23rd, whenever they're allowing you to stay at a hotel, you're going to have a bit of a different experience in Vegas without any slot machines or table games to play. Maybe you just go out on the street and you find a 3-card money game and lose all your money, but at least you gambled. Don't play 3-card money, kids. It's a scam in Las Vegas. But when it comes right down to it, if you come back to Las Vegas, expect a different experience. But then again, if you go to a Disney park, expect a different experience. Heck, if you go to a fast food restaurant right now that is actually open for picking up your order inside, it's a different experience. That's the world that we're living in. So we can either get mad when it's windy, like it has been for 2 days out here, and I can go and I can scream at the sky for it to stop being windy, or I can just realize that sometimes we have to go with the flow for what life presents us. We have to hope for the best and be hopeful and positive, and it's not always going to be ending the way that we want it to end, but that's okay too. We can enjoy life and we don't have to hate on it. We can just say it is what it is, and that's what I hope you guys might do and come back and visit us here in Las Vegas when we do get up and running and opening. That's my video for today. I want to thank you for watching. I want to say like, share, subscribe to videos, hit the bell for the future notifications. If you want to be on the Patreon, the link is in the first comment of this video. It's the one on the very top. And if you guys want to head on over to Face Group, you can do that. You can chat about Vegas stuff, be a superstar, make a good comment there, and people will reply and talk with you. Or if you want to get the merchandise, check out the Teespring store. Now's the time in the video where I say 3, 2, 1, click. So 3, 2, 1, and click.